Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime here with my next Boruto anime review. This one's going to be for episode 128, which is called Urashiki's Target. And this was a very interesting episode. I was kind of confused last week about how exactly are they going to do this, and that they're bringing Urashiki back into things, but they also seem to be setting up the device that is going to create this Boruto meeting young Naruto arc. I didn't expect them to sort of intertwine so clearly like this, that this ancient relic is actually a piece of Otsutsuki tech, and that will be the thing that creates the time traveling, and it links into Urashiki's plan. I actually really liked how they did that, and just in general, this episode I thought was very eventful and kind of high quality. Actually, there was actually a lot of properly interesting information revealed in this episode, because one, we don't really know the full extent of Otsutsuki tech, and so just finding out that here's this sort of living technology type thing with the I suppose it's just a time travel device here that he has to charge up using chakra. And also I think one of the biggest things in this episode was just that line that was like, whoa, from Urashiki, where just as he goes into the portal, he says, thank you for my horns. That, yeah, Urashiki at the moment doesn't have horns, so he's trying to do some sort of a Otsutsuki ritual to get them, and that links into kind of what we're dealing with in the manga right now, where we know the noted Otsutsukis, like Momoshiki and stuff like that, and so on. They do have those horns that they can go to. It's like their next sort of power level when they activate the horn, and it visibly shows in their body. And that's them at their max power. So clearly, prior to this, Urashiki didn't have that, and all of what he's been doing up to now, the gathering of chakra, has been with the aim of apparently getting his own horns and gaining that next power level, and then maybe advancing up the ranks of Otsutsuki. I just really like that we're learning much more about Otsutsukis, both in terms of technically how their kind of powers and the kind of structure type stuff works, but now also pieces about their technology. As for where they go with Urashiki from here on out, it was interesting in that, obviously he fell into the time stream apparently, so I don't think he's been killed or anything like that. He's just come out somewhere. We know he can come back if he wants to, so My question is probably, is that him dealt with now up to where we are in the manga, that they just assume he's gone because he fell into the time stream at a random point, and he could appear again in the manga if he really had to? Or are we going to go to this back to the past arc with Boruto and Sasuke, and then when they manage to get back, we'll have another confrontation with Urashiki, or else we'll have a confrontation with Urashiki in the past and then come back? That's what I'm wondering about, because I still overall do have the question of how does Urashiki get resolved in all of this, because he specifically wasn't mentioned in the manga in the last few chapters, even though they listed off basically all of the other Otsutsukis we've met. So I want to know more about where we're really going with that. But yeah, as for the rest of the episode, let's talk about the stuff up until we go to the past. Urashiki's plan, I thought, made for a very intriguing, tense episode. I liked the Leaf Village on high security. They know Urashiki's coming for them because he has to know that the Leaf Village has, Shukaku as well as Kurama. And of course, he's targeting Naruto, so he wants to get the Nine Tails chakra. That's what he sort of leads everyone to believe. So they send out a huge search team outside the village to look for him, and it seems like he's accomplishing everything he has to, but then it's revealed that he had actually taken Mirai's chakra, so he has Genjutsu access now, and he was actually manipulating a lot of these sightings to make people believe he was out there. So the Leaf Village had basically put most of its shinobi outside of the village, leaving Sasuke, Boruto, and Naruto and Shikamaru pretty much as the main people in the village, and it allowed Urashiki to seemingly maybe get a better advantage over Naruto, but that wasn't actually the plan, and Boruto sort of figures it out last minute that this plan is good, but it still doesn't account for the fact that you're here, Sasuke. Shikamaru's right there, and then Naruto himself will be ready to fight. And I don't think he's going to be able to defeat Naruto and Sasuke with some support, even if he has got rid of a lot of the rest of the village. So Boruto figured out he's not going for Naruto, so he must be going for something else. It probably has to be the relic. That's the only other unique thing right now going on in the village. And it turns out he was correct, and we learn that the symbol on this is similar to the one that we saw previously when we dealt with the White Zetsu stuff a while ago in that kind of interesting episode. And then also, they connect the dots, so this is an Otsutsuki tech, only able to be opened by an Otsutsuki, and then it's revealed that it's this kind of turtle technology thing that you have to insert chakra into. You choose a temporal destination, and it takes a while to charge up, and then it activates. Now the question is obviously what was Urashiki actually planning to do? Because he specifically notes that it wasn't ready yet, so I don't think he was necessarily planning to come to exactly this point, or maybe the idea is that he was, and his ultimate plan was actually, yes, he was going to get the Nine Tails chakra from Naruto, but not by targeting Naruto in the present. He was actually going to go to the past and get Naruto when he was younger. So I think that's quite interesting that was his plan, that he had taken chakra from everyone to charge the time travel device to get the power that he needed to get his horns in an easier way. That's a that's a very clever plan. It makes him in a very interesting character, interesting villain, that he has schemes that seem to be much better than the likes of, say, Momoshiki and Kinshiki, where they were just all about power. We just have the maximum power needed. We're just in control. There's no problems. I like that there was more scheming going on here. Urashiki's powerful, but he got more an advantage by just scheming rather than his actual, battle prowess necessarily. So that was, I think, very, very intriguing to see. They also set up the entire episode that Sasuke isn't back to full, chakra. That because he's had his chakra taken, it's not the same as just him being sort of down on chakra. He's actually there's a bigger effect than him just needing to gain energy back type thing. So that's one of the reasons where I'm kind of wait, that means they sort of have to almost resolve something with Urashiki, that he has sort of done something to the people he's taken chakra from, and him being dealt with is probably going to be the only way to fix that necessarily. But again, we don't know the full scope of his powers. But anyway, Boruto and Sasuke do end up getting inside the portal with Urashiki, and it's a pretty cool little sequence here, a little bit of a fight. Again, the fight necessarily, the choreography of the fight wasn't really important. It was just a bunch of, clashing against each other. He sends Boruto flying, and it seems like Boruto's about to fall into the time stream and be lost somewhere. But of course, the go-to move for a clever thing is obviously the Sasuke Rinnegan switch, and he does that with Urashiki and Boruto. So Urashiki gets kind of washed away in the time stream, and Boruto and Sasuke end up having to hold on to the turtle device, the turtle time device, as it goes off, and they're transported into the past. It was very cool to see Sasuke protect Boruto with the Susanoo, as I don't know what's happening here, let's just go for this. And yeah, the big thing that they realize when they get there is the stone monuments, the faces. There's only 4 of them there. So that immediately tells them they're in the past, and they know straight away something is very, very wrong here. So very cool to see. It also places us in the timeline quite interestingly, in that it's obviously, pre-Shippuden. We know kind of roughly when it is, but I think the preview made it kind of clear. Tsunade's back in the village, so she is the Hokage at this point in time. And Naruto's there, so it means Naruto knows the Rasengan and stuff like that. So it's not so early in the series that Naruto can't be impressive to Boruto, and it probably is roughly Naruto at the point that Boruto is at kind of right now. So it's going to be interesting what challenge they really face together here in the past, because that's obviously what's going to have to be the case. It's going to have to be Boruto seeing Naruto take on a challenge and like realizing his father in the past that they talk about so much is like lives up to what they do talk about. So the question obviously here is going to be, is it just going to be like Boruto and Sasuke sort of monitoring what happens, sort of helping out, trying to keep their identities a secret, or is this actually going to be them heavily involved in this, whatever happens, and it's more of an Urashiki style plot where they, without kind of realizing it at the time, it is our characters in the past kind of experiencing an attack from the Otsutsuki, getting help from Naruto and, you know, other shinobi of that generation. There's so many ways they can go with it. Like, you do sort of question, like, wait, is this meant to be taken as, like, 100% canon? Right now, it all makes sense. The fact that sort of what you'd almost expect from a typical anime movie of just, like, yeah, it's not really overly important. It's just this weird MacGuffin that they've introduced. This time, it's actually, like our first introduction to Otsutsuki tech, and it fits Urashiki, who's been introduced for a while now. There's a way they could do this and have it fit into canon. The only thing that they need to do is obviously have the event that happens in the past not be like so eventful that like it's something Naruto shouldn't be like overly remembering this sequence. Like it depends how they do time travel ultimately, in that Naruto and Boruto are going to interact. I assume the take that they're going to have on it is that Boruto's never going to introduce himself and stuff like that. He might do a fake name or something like that. But Naruto in the present shouldn't remember this event. Or unless they do some very weird thing where they really commit to time travel in that way, where like they come back and Naruto's just like, I suddenly all of a sudden remember you from when I was 12 or something like that. Like, there's a way they could make it work, but I do feel that probably ultimately it'll just be Naruto in the past had this incident, these two strangers helped him out. It wasn't the most serious event, but it was enough to have an impact on Boruto, and they'll go from there. But yeah, like I said, huge praise for this episode. I did really enjoy it. Even the search kind of section at the start was cool to see, like Denki and his company like making the tech to sort of track everyone, them using the radio systems a lot more, and even just like Shikadai, now that he's been kind of promoted, like he's in charge of the team of Genin, and then you see like Tenten leading part of the team, Choji's there as well. Even moments like just seeing like Choji and Tenten take charge of that situation with the Genjutsu and just release it, that it shows their growth, that they're super experienced shinobi now, whereas like in like original Naruto it was the likes of like Kakashi always releasing genjutsus on people. So the fact that like Tenten is now in that position is a fun little thing, further showing the growth that Tenten isn't just the weapons expert, she also has all these other jutsu, in the same way that like Naruto now can use a lot of the different standard styles of jutsu that he wasn't using in like Naruto and Shippuden. He's now able to use like Earth style and so on now, so that's always fun to keep track of. But yeah, that's been my review for this episode. In the comments, let me know what your thoughts are. Where do you think this arc is going? What way will they do the time travel? And then I think most importantly, as ever, what exactly are they going for with Urashiki Otsutsuki? But leave those comments below. But that's been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.